My name's Tony Hayes. I'm a painter, an artist. My mother is Noreen Hayes, and she's from Dungarvan. She's born in Dungarvan. And my father is Thomas Hayes, and he's from Limerick.
And what was your mother's maiden name?
McCarthy.
McCarthy.
Yeah.
And what part of Dungarvan was she from?
Shandon.
Okay. And when you were a child, because you were brought up in London, you said?
I was in South London, near Balham, Tooting. Yeah.
Tooting.
Yeah.
And there was a Tooting popular front, was it?
Yeah, Citizen Smith. Yeah. Yeah.
And but when you were a child, like, what was your earliest memory of being brought to Dungarvan? Or like this? Remember?
There was so many less cars on the streets, and they would stop for you and ask you if you wanted to spin into town. And on the way back and stuff like that. People, it was a much smaller community, more fields, more agricultural landscape, really. Not as densely populated and built up.
So it was a very small town then?
Yeah, a community. I'd say it was a community, definitely. Everybody knew each other then.
And what did your granny, what did she work at? Did they have any...
I think she was a housewife then, really.
Okay. And then, as you were going around Dungarvan as a child, what kind of things did you see? What was the smells, or what was the things that kind of stick out with you?
I think the leather factory was there then, I seem to remember. And I remember going down to the lookout, and there was a sort of swimming pool there. It was just it was very different to London. Much more rural, as I say, much more community-based.
And then each time you came back, because as you were getting older, obviously when you were a teenager and stuff like that, would you have noticed changes happening?
Yeah, a lot more vehicles. A lot more vehicles on the streets. And quite a lot of influence from Britain and America, I would say. Yeah. Especially television and music.
And, like, were you always a bit of a novelty then when you came back here?
Yes, I was.
And would people kind of slag you about your accent, or were they...
Yes, because it was a strange position to be in, because when you were living in England and you had Irish parents, you were like Irish, and then when I came here, I was like a Brit. So you never feel quite at home. There's always a kind of, you're not in one place or the other, you never feel cultural identity.
Mm. And what was your what was your impression of Ireland at that time when you were growing up? Did you see it as kind of like a very Catholic country, a very kind of, what did you see it when you were coming from England, like looking at it from the outside?
I just remember it as very, as I said, very rural. There was a sense of freedom about it, quite untouched by technology and building too much. It was beautiful. I remember it fondly. It was good.
And then obviously you had a kind of somewhere inside you had this idea that maybe you'd like to come back here.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
And when did you make that decision?
About 12 years ago, I think. Yeah. It was definitely to bring my daughters up in a community, because I think that Britain has become much more fractured, and there was definitely a sense of community here, which I thought was very important.
And then you studied art. Did you study art in London? Was it?
Yes, I went to Kingston School of Art.
Okay. And you're a fine artist, like
Yeah.
a painter.
Yeah. Mm.
And so, since you came back here then, has it been difficult to try and make a living as an artist?
Yes, it has.
Well, it's kind of similar to other Irish artists we know. So then, leading into this project then, how did this all come about?
Well, I painted the square, plein air. I don't really use photographs. I try to actually paint on the site and capture the energy and the dynamism of the whole thing in front of me. So when the project began on the square, I found it kind of fascinating because I knew it in one particular way, and then suddenly it was all being changed. And that I found that fascinating, where the barbed wire was going round and the boundary created between the workmen and the public. I found that quite fascinating. And just to see large machines working on the square and it being dug up. And I found it fascinating. And to see the layers being taken off, looking down into history, into Dungarvan in the past, that people hadn't seen for a long time. Yeah.
And I believe when it was first started or first being talked about, there was a lot of people kind of a bit resistant to the idea.
Yes, I think there were.
And would it be fair to say that people have come around to it now?
I think that's a bit contentious, really.
Okay, but it is actually, it has made it kind of more pretty, I suppose, isn't it?
I would say so, yeah. But I was fascinated with the process, really, of how one understands a kind of landscape or a location and then it undergoes radical change and the process of that change. That's what I found fascinating and that's what I tried to capture.
And also the workmen and all that kind of stuff, because that's also in your...
Yes. It's just really interesting to see human beings working alongside massive amounts of machinery, quite dangerous machinery. And I found that fascinating, and the use of tools and technology.
And did they think that you were a bit odd?
No, they kind of, after a while, they appreciated that I was there. Yeah. And I think they kind of enjoyed the experience of somebody documenting their work.
Yeah, because I'd say it was a first for them as well.
Maybe.
To have an artist on board.
Yeah.
And what do you hope to do with the exhibition?
Well, at some point in the future, I would like to display the work, but trying to find a venue is problematic.
Well, maybe this is a film might have.
It may do, because I do think it stands as a document.
Yes.
Irrespective of its skill or whatever, it is a visual document of somebody who actually stood and visually recorded it, but not using technology or devices or tools, apart from drawing.
And what, at this stage, you're here 10 years, whatever it is. Have you, I suppose, when you moved back here and you hoped for something about living here, have you found it?
Yeah, I think it's certainly a more peaceful society, a more civil society here at the moment, for sure.
And what do you love about living here?
I don't know. What do I love about living here? I think the people are friendly. The people are friendly and sociable. Particularly in Dungarvan, the landscape is beautiful, for sure. The mountains and the sea. That's absolutely brilliant. I like the landscape still, very much, but I think there's been quite a lot of construction and building that has changed it quite radically. And it's great that it's a European country.
Absolutely, I suppose, coming with the latest.
Yes, very much. I'm very proud to, I have an Irish passport. I'm very proud to have that passport, and I'm proud to be living here.
And for your daughters, has it been hard?
No, I think they've enjoyed it. I think it's been very good. because, as I said, it is a community.